comic book fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of Cammy's Comic Corner. I'm your host as always, Cammy. I'll get to what I was doing there in just one moment. I first need to tell you that this episode has been brought to you by Valkyrie Squadron. From the creator of the hit webcomic Marsh Rocket comes a new science fiction epic spectacular featuring babes, bots, and big guns. Valkyrie Squadron, updating every Tuesday and Thursday at www.valkyriesquadron.com. Be sure to follow the comic and the creator, Jules Rivera, on Twitter, at Jules Rivera, at Valkyrie Squadron. Now, on to the episode. I was playing around with the sword because, well, I'm going to be committing seppuku because I have brought shame and dishonor to you, the viewer. You're expecting a pick of the week every week. You're expecting to be entertained and be told what to spend your money on. But unfortunately, this is the third week in a row where I have not found a pick of the week. And I'm very, very sorry. I blame the comics industry, so I'm not going to take any responsibility. But we do have another Fast Five for you, so let's get right on to good books this week. First up from DC, we have Green Lantern Emerald Warriors number 10. Now, this is the penultimate issue of the whole War of the Green Lantern saga. We have Krona trying to make Guy and Hal his new guardians. Meanwhile, a freak meteor shower, or a supposed freak meteor shower, hits Oa and causes chaos everywhere. Hal and Guy are able to escape. They take the Book of Black with them, and they come to the conclusion that in order to have Parallax be set free, they have to break the power battery and just get a crack, just something, so Parallax can get out of there. So they have to do a whole little, Earth, Wind, Fire, Water, Heart, Go planet thing where they have to get all the rings and focus all the beams and try to make it crack. Which means that Guy and Hal have to take on an extra ring just to make it work. Well, it does work. Parallax is freed, and so are all of the other Green Lanterns from Krona's grasp. They no longer are mindless drones. They all come together as one. Everyone's a Green Lantern now, and now it's going to be Krona and his Guardians, which are all the different rings, and then the Green Lantern Corps. About to go head to head. It's going to be an epic battle. This was a great issue, a great setup issue for that main event. Next up from Image, we have Super Dinosaur number 2. Now again, it sounds like every week I'm talking about Super Dinosaur. Maybe you should get the hint, viewer, and go pick it up if you haven't already. With these new engineers joining the team, they are making some bitchin' new armor for Super Dinosaur. And, Derek's happy with this, they're happy with their own handiwork, and while all this is going on, Max Maximus gets a visit from the Exile, who is apparently the leader of the Dino Men and is working with Triceratops, and they're offering Max a place in their new world that's coming soon to a world near us, where it's going to be ruled by no one but Dino Men, and the humans are going to be extinct. Max scoffs at his offer, plants a tracking device on him, and since Derek's dad and Max used to work together, they still get the same frequencies of different maybe tracking devices. So Derek and Super Dinosaur go check it out. They are taken up to the Arctic. They get to try out this new Arctic gear for Super Dinosaur, and they meet Triceratops and the Exile, and they battle, and the Exile's wounded at the end, causing him to take off his armor, and we don't know what he is underneath. It seems to be some sort of a human dinosaur hybrid. We're not sure yet. We're going to see next issue, but it's continuous fun. Again, it's only 2 issues in, and I'm loving it. You should too. This would make a great Saturday morning cartoon. Next up from Vertigo, we have American Vampire number 15. Now, the Taipan vampires are a breed the soldiers have never seen before, but they are almost getting slaughtered. They're running, trying to hide, trying to find shelter somewhere, but Skinner Sweet lets his whole vampire self loose, and even he can't stop them. Even he's having a problem battling these creatures. He even gets wounded. While all looks like doom for this small patrol, they get brisked away underground into the secret hiding spot, and apparently underneath the village there are a series of tunnels and shelters so the people on the island can move freely. Apparently the vampires have been on the island since the beginning of not time, but since the beginning of the people, the natives on the island have been there. They've told us tales where they've been together on this island. Moving on, the Japanese have built something on the island that's disrupted the whole harmony between the natives and the vampires. So it's up to the soldiers to go figure out what the Japanese have built, take it out, and so hopefully everyone can go back to perfect harmony. Well, the Japanese kind of have the ambush on them, and now they are taken hostage, but they are taken alive. Probably because they want to be bait or something like that. We don't know yet, but all I do know, Scott Snyder, Raphael Albuquerque, just killing it on this series. You should be checking it up, you should be picking it up. Doesn't matter what issue you jump onto, there's a new arc every couple of issues. It's very fun stuff. Next up from Marvel, we have Future Foundation number 4, or just FF for short. In this issue, we have the Council of Doom figuring out that this Reed situation isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Apparently, these Reeds aren't going to be nothing like their Reed that they know, because these Reeds have nothing to lose. They don't have any families that they could, take hostage and say, you better get off our world or else. They are, just renegades in a way, and they are going to do whatever it takes to get back to where they're at. And Reed, knowing himself, knows that he would probably do anything to get back to his own world, including make a gigantic machine of some sort that would probably kill their Earth while transporting them to where they need to be. Which brings up a whole oh shit moment when they realize that these Reeds are unaccounted for, and Val says they might be using the old vents under old Atlantis to do this, and that's bad because the old Atlantis is currently under attack, and Sue and Spider-Man go to check it out, and apparently it's Mole Man and a Reed Richards invading this old Atlantis. The shields can only remain up for so long, but there are like legions of monsters that the Mole Man has brought out to play, and it is not looking good for Spider-Man and Sue. But obviously the machine is being built, Reed's plans are in play, and now hopefully the Council of Doom can think up of something and hopefully unite together to take down the Reeds in order for Reed to prosper. It's a very Reedy book, yeah. And finally this week from DC, we have Detective Comics number 877. Batman is able to get out of the death trap of the car crusher closing in on him, and he takes out Roadrunner. Roadrunner tries to hop away on these little titanium spring-loaded legs, but Batman starts chasing him and he goes, why am I doing this? Batarangs him, mutilates his leg just to make him talk and scream and remember Batman and the viciousness of Batman, while trying to ask what he wants with Sonia Branch, aka Sonia Zucco. Well, we found out later that Sonia was so afraid of Batman the first time they met because she wasn't afraid of what might happen to her. She was just afraid of Batman. She knows that her family's name of Zucco isn't a good one, isn't clean, and apparently the apple might not fall from the tree, according to everyone's logic, including Batman's. And she confronts him on that, saying, no, listen, I'm really proud of building up this bank. I've turned away the different crime families that came to try to launder money, but two guys that did not give up, one of them being the Roadrunner, the second being Tiger Shark, they sent a message. They took my personal assistant, put him in the Shamu, hence why, she ended up dead in Shamu. And that's why I now need your help, with this Tiger Shark guy. He operates outside of the Coast Guard's jurisdiction, which leads Batman to go hunt it down on the outer rims of Gotham's harbor, where this guy might be. He's obviously using some sort of old pipes to get around. And he might have a little bit of a crush on Sonya, we're thinking. Batman being Dick Grayson. And Red Robin even kind of gives him some little pot shots for it. And he's like, oh, you're breaking up. But Batman, we're on 5G. I said you're breaking up. Click. So it was a very interesting issue. Lots of stuff happening, and we see more of this tale unfolding. And, again, Scott Snyder, again, on another book I'm talking about this week, just completely destroying it. He was made for this title, and I hope he stays on Detective for a very, very long time. Well, comic book fans, that does it this week for Cammy's Comic Corner. If you want more Cammy's Comic Corner goodness, check out www.cammyscomiccorner.com. Every Wednesday, you get a Geeky Talkie. Every Friday, you get my favorite covers of the week. Every Sunday, you get the weekly review show. And then at the beginning of the month, the book of the month. At the end of the month, the top shelf selection. Do I hear 25 in the back? Sold. Also, this episode has been brought to you by Valkyrie Squadron. From the creator of the hit webcomic Marsh Rocket comes a new science fiction epic spectacular featuring babes, bots, and big guns. Valkyrie Squadron updates every Tuesday and Thursday at www.valkyriesquadron.com, and be sure to follow both the creator and the comic itself on Twitter at Jules Rivera and at Valkyrie Squad. Don't miss an update. It's a webcomic you should be reading. Also, speaking of sponsorships and whatnot, for the month of June, I have sponsorships available for both sponsorships for Geeky Talkie and the weekly review show here. Check out the main page at cammyscomiccorner.com for all the details and links to the auctions on eBay. I can be talking about your project next month. All next month, as a matter of fact. So that does it this week for Cammy's Comic Corner. I have been your host, Cammy. Now, as promised, until I get a pick of the week, I just gotta treat myself that it's not a good thing. Ha! Oh, my coat!